Welcome to 1111. I have been waiting all week to do this, to share this time with you. It's a very special time where I step away from the heavy energy, the he said, the she said, the clues, the drama, and I embrace the case in the fact that these are actual people that have passed on. They're very young in this case. We've got Keily, Rodni, and then let's see, I can't get past Jay to go over to Nolan. So Nolan's in the middle. And that's Nolan Wells. And then we have right here, let's see, there it is, Jay Slater. So I'm going to be going over their story a little bit. And I want you to put yourself in the perspective of the bigger picture, that none of this needed to happen. This was all something preventable. We just don't have the answers to tell us how it happened to prevent it. I'm trying to remember which way to point. All of these children, and the oldest one being 19, Jay Slater, Nolan Wells, 18, and 16 for Keily Rodni, went to celebrate with friends. We try to teach our children to do things that prevent any type of serious issues. Unfortunately, some children slip through the crack. But in all the cases, I could tell you 1,000 times where the reason I'm here today is because my friends had my back. If we came together, we stayed together. We didn't just leave together, we stayed together. As a female, we didn't ever go to the bathroom alone. We were always together. No woman was left alone. And so we have to look at today's society and think, what are we instilling into our children for values that prevent that from going? And one of the things I can tell you is the National Center for Missing Exploited Children is national, and they literally receive thousands of tips that result in children being found. You can call in a tip that maybe you can't get to Canada to give a tip on Jack and Lily Sullivan. You can call the National Center for Missing Exploited Children in the United States. They'll get that tip to the right people. They go into corporations. They get contracts with corporations that agree to allow, through all the franchises, the missing posters that are so valuable, because the public are the ones that usually see the individual. As many cases as we cover where innocence is lost, whether they passed away or something of that nature, all those cases don't end up in that position. There are many successful cases, and those aren't celebrated enough. However, in order for those successful cases to happen, and the parents be reunited with their loving child and everything to work out okay, we need to fund and give back. And so only if you have it to spare, I encourage you today to consider giving to the National Center for Missing Exploited Children, so that there can be more successful cases out there where children are reunited with truly loving families. We've had parents come and talk about how much the National Center has helped them. And any parent that has a missing child can contact the National Center for tons of printed actual leaflets to hand out, pamphlets and missing posters. And it's a data bank. And I feel it's a very extremely valuable resource. And so that is our chosen charity here at 1111 True Crime. And I want to welcome you all in. We don't have a great deal of people, which is, a little heartbreaking when people always say they want to make a change, but you only have that handful of people. So I encourage you to consider giving generously if you can. Only if you can. Don't feel obligated. Now, today and for the rest of the life of this video, no matter when you're watching it, if it's 10 years from now, if you click the button, it'll allow you to donate to the National Center directly. So I'm not the middleman. I'm just providing the entertainment to host the fundraiser. And my entertainment of choice is to be able to express myself in painting. And I had a hard time with this painting. My emotions were running high, and I can't explain how I felt, but August 6th of 2022 was Kylie Rodni went missing. She wasn't found till the 21st of August. Jay Slater went missing on June 17th. Was reported missing. He wasn't found until July 15th of 2024. He went missing in the year 2024 and was found. Now, the recent case is Nolan Wells, and he went missing on this past July 4th, 2026, and he was found 2 days later. All of them had went with their friends, and the cases just get really, really interesting when we look at them, all three of them, and you listen to how similar the friends behaved. Kylie Rodni's case was extremely controlled by the friends. They even had, well, we'll get into it. So as I paint, I'll share with you. Hey, Vas Karen, how are you? Smudgers here, Serendipity. Carla Burgeon, good to see you. You know, I always want to make sure we're giving back. And so with that, I embrace Kylie Rodni's energy, and I embrace Nolan Wells' energy and Jay Slater's energy every time I cover their cases. But there was something about these three that drew me into this idea. Like, water had to do with so much of it. Kylie was found in the trunk of her car in 14 feet of water in the Prosser Creek, at the Prosser campground. Jay Slater was allegedly headed towards the ocean. So he went off into a mountainous, treacherous trip, allegedly. Nolan Wells was found face down on Horn Island. Now we're waiting to find out what really happened. And so water was what my medium of, I wouldn't even call it a medium. Medium is my acrylic paint, but water is what my medium for creating my art was. I wanted to go with water, but nothing was coming to mind. And so I just started painting. I had no plan. I just beat my emotions into the canvas. And so with that, I will introduce you into Clash of Egos. All right. So I've pre-recorded it. I've edited it, and I've what do you call that? Time lapsed. Yeah. I sped it up for you so that you didn't have to sit there for 2 hours while I just pushed the paint around. I don't know if it came out the way that I would expect. I don't know if it came out right or wrong. All I know is I got my emotion out on the board, and I invite you to join me in this, and hopefully we'll raise a few dollars for the National Center of Missing Exploited Children. Now, last year we raised over $5,000 over a year. So this is just the beginning of the iceberg, or the tip of the iceberg, the beginning to do that. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? All right. Let's jump over. Let me see here. Give me a 1 if you're ready. I want to make sure we're all good to go. Everybody can hear good. You can see good. All that wonderful stuff. Let me wet my whistle. Let me turn it up a minute. Give me a 1 if you're ready. Yeah. I can hear myself, so I think we're golden. Is anybody out there? There's Carla. There's such a lag on YouTube. All right, my lovelies. Thank you for replay. Consider donating. The button will be there every time this video is watched. You'll have the opportunity. If you can't afford to, don't do it. But if you do get spare change, you're like, I want to give back. I want to be the one that makes a difference. That button, that donate button to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children will be there the entire time, the entire life of this video. All right, with that being said, I put a little music to it. Let me know if the music's too loud. And let's go. I see a lot of ones. Ready, ready, ready. So I'm showing you the finished painting first, so you have an idea of how much work goes into this. Thank you, Cashmere. And one of the things I wanted to do differently was I wanted to paint the whole board orange first to give an undercoat. And that helps not be as intimidating. But it also does provide a much better hue in your purple. So my other channel is Inspired Canvas, and this will also be a fundraiser over there, but it'll be a silent fundraiser, meaning the button will be available and you'll be able to give over there as well. And that's usually where I put all my paintings. But I wanted to share with a bigger audience today. Maybe we'll get more funding for the National Center. So purple. Purple is what the sky was in this. Don't ask me, but what I came up with is it was almost as if there were two energies coming together with us and then producing a secondary energy. And even though the sky is dark, a lot of my feelings of light were going to contrast through the wave. Now, to me, water is energy in motion, which is emotion, right? Energy in motion. And emotion, and we think about, like, if you look at a rock, a true, like, boulder, and you think, well, there's a little trickle of water that is trickling down this boulder, but it's not going to affect the boulder. But over time, even that little trickle of water begins to cut a path against that unmovable force of the rock. And so I thought about that being one voice, is that trickle of water going down that unmovable rock. And I began to think about, what if there were millions of voices? What if we were millions of voices strong? Can you imagine the change that the rock would go through? So let's go ahead and cut our water through the painting. And I want you just to relax and enjoy. And if at any time you were like, well, I'd like to give you a $2 tip, Mama D, just remember that tip goes straight to the National Center and you're giving back. And it doesn't have to be $5, it can be $1. But it would be so appreciated. The National Center does provide a lot of services. Hey, Priscilla Jones. Very nice. Well, thank you. Now, you guys, when I got into the water, this part was easy. The rock was easy. But when I got into the churning turmoil of the waves, you're going to see I kind of like almost start feeling like I can't get out, like I'm trapped, and I start to struggle really hard. But at the same time, it all came together. Dudette. You okay, Dudette? I like that. That reminds me of like the Smurfs or something, Dudette. It's a very calming picture to start with. But oh, what a contrast is about to happen. I appreciate y'all joining me today. Like I said, there was no game plan. It was just choosing colors that I felt I don't know how else to explain it. So here we go, some rocks. And I go into great detail on the rocks, which we really don't need to do. But at the time, the rock seemed formidable. It seemed like it was unmovable, as if no matter what happened, that this rock wasn't going anywhere. But just like in time, the painting changes, and we find out that emotional release of many voices become very strong and powerful. And it becomes less about the structure and more about being heard. Ah, Carla. Thank you, lovely. She says, I'm so proud to be part of this channel. I love that we do these things because to me, this presents some healing. That's why I feel that it's therapy to paint, is because it provides a release for the frustration. Yeah, like I'm going into such wonderful detail here, but we don't need it because the waves are going to take over. And I think of a sound wave, right? A sound wave being heard of 1,000 or more voices that are crying out for justice, for the truth. Because if things continue to happen in the dark, they will continue to happen in the dark. But if things are exposed in the light, then the toxic cycle can be stopped. So let's just block in a wave. Ah, Carla says it's coming to life. Kashmir says, all good in the hood. Smudger, nice to be here with you all. Happy to have you. So as I begin to work this wave, I'm thinking to myself, I don't want there to be like sand. I don't want there to feel like there's a safe spot. But at the same time, I need it to be truthful and pure. Because just because it's the truth, it doesn't have to be soft. It doesn't have to be muted. The truth can be one of the most powerful things, and is the most powerful thing that exists. It's also rare these days. And so I painted the truth crashing against these stones. And it was intense. There are times I feel like we each individually feel small. And we're not sure if our contribution matters. We each feel like that trickle of water running down the rock. And we have to often ask ourselves, are we making a difference? Are we really? And then I find out information that tells me we made a difference. Somebody gets found that was lost, like legitimately missing. Somebody gets arrested and the truth comes out for what they've done to an innocent. And then I'm like, well, it was all worth it. But often, we see injustice happen, and we have to accept that at this time, I say this time, that the justice we wanted didn't happen. But it doesn't mean that something's not going to come along and expose the truth in the future and set it all right back up on the right side of the truth. But it's a long journey. It's not an easy one. A lot of mental exhaustion and emotional depletion. And it can be dark. Aw, Smudger. Smudger says, Carla, the best thing is my sister mods who are always supportive, Mama with her kindness, strength, love, and positivity, and all of you awesome chatters who are supportive of the channel. Well, thank you, Smudger. So right now I'm just laying the shadows of the water, and I mess with the water forever. Like, I don't know what I'm expecting, but I just keep going with it. I'm not on anybody's timeline. So as I paint, I'm starting to see how strong the water really becomes. Eventually, the water becomes so strong that I wonder how long the rock will last. Because it almost looks like it's being swallowed by the ocean. I jumped ahead a little just because it gets so in depth there. I usually don't struggle this much on water. I usually know what I want, know how I'm going to do it. But we don't get the end results unless every one of the brush strokes would have been there. And I think it comes out just right. Hey, Mike Wheeler, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. I'm just having this image in my head come to life as I'm painting. I start to see where we're going. And instead of just brush strokes randomly being placed, I start feeling the waves as if I'm in the water itself. And that's when it kind of all happens for me. This painting stirs a lot of emotions for me, even when I just view it after it's painted. There's something to it. There's this feeling of finally making being heard, making a difference. And I don't think it's me being heard. I think it's a conglomeration of a lot of the victims that have suffered severe injustices in their life and even lost their life. And it's like the universe is crying out to say, things are going to change. Because people do care. And we see that. We see people care. In a world full of all this negative energy, we see everyday people not understanding how somebody can be cruel. Because in general, I believe people have good hearts. Some lose their way. But from what I've seen, There are amazing people out here. And I believe the good will win. Smudger says, this is such a powerful painting, Mama. You can feel your emotions in the brush strokes. Oh, and I was feeling it. I can feel it still. Like every time I put another curve in a wave, I felt like it was more voices being added. Patricia Ellen says, that very first higher wave you painted before you filled in the purple and some, I can clearly see a face in it. Oh, wow. I know that sounds nuts, but I do. But you won't be alone, because often in my paintings there are faces and we don't know why. Obviously I don't mean to paint them. Kashmir says, did I hear you saying you had sped this up, Mama D? But I have been watching and thinking this woman is on fire. God. She can use a brush just remembering what you had said. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I sped it up. Otherwise, it'd be like I said, we'd be here for days. It was a 2-hour painting. I felt like it was a 10-minute painting, but when I was done recording you guys, it was like 2 hours and 11 minutes or something. Carla says, I used to go out to Lake Pontchartrain and sit on a rock like that and let the waves hit me, so calming, never-ending waves. So in our work to bring the awareness and give back the voices, I want you to know that you're not alone. That's why we have our channel. Here comes the truth train, so that our voices are strong. Listen to the truth train. Timing is perfect. Patricia Allen says, this live is so peaceful and calming. Thank you. Okay, you guys, we're going to work back here and make this, if we're going to have it this turned up, we got to do something back here. So we'll add some dark spots and then we'll add some highlights just here and there. Because, you're not going to have all calm water back there. So this way we get just a little bit of something going on. Perfect. We don't need a lot back there. All right, what are we going to do? Hopefully I move into the big waves soon. No. I told you I got stuck in the water. I was like, it's so beautiful. It was mesmerizing. And I felt like I was there with every piece of paint that just kind of like brushed the canvas. I was like, yeah, that's like I was there. So I just kept letting the water go. It was a joy to paint because it was allowing me to express what I was feeling. I didn't have to come up with a way to make it clear to anybody. It just needed to be an explosion of water on that rock. Priscilla Jones says, awesome waves. Thank you. Thank you, lovely. Yeah, I kept my cap off today, y'all. Because I thought, hats off in remembrance. So today is about never forgetting. Never forget, never forgotten. Kylie Rodni, 16. Jay Slater, 19. And Nolan Wells, 18. And you wonder, how much they could have made positive changes on our planet if they would still be here. It's just heartbreaking. And so, I will remember those names far along from now. Think of being 16. I think about it, and I did a lot of dumb things. You got to bring it together here. We'll go put the rocks back in after we get the wave done. We had to get some depth in there and some contrast. Mission Beach in San Diego. I wonder if any of the friends really understand what being there as a friend means. I have some amazing friends on here. You guys are always there for me, and I'm just blessed. But I feel like a lot of people do not know what real friends are. That's sad. Or how to be a real friend. I hope that we as a society teach our children how valuable life really is, because it can be gone in a blink of an eye, and we can't get it back. Now I'm getting more into like the chunks of water you see fly. This is where I felt like the actual movement really hit hard. Smudger said it's heartbreaking mama so young, with all their lives ahead of them, and then cruelly taken. May they rest in eternal peace. Amen. You know, Kylie was one of those kind of gals that was so photogenic. Like, her smile was like a ray of sunshine. And she was absolutely breathtaking. And Jay Slater was considered to be very funny, the life of the party, very outgoing, made friends with anybody, you know, just a trusting soul. Then you hear about Nolan Wells, just over trusting people and making everybody laugh, being the life of the party. Jay wasn't a fighter. We know Kylie wasn't a fighter, a scrapper, and we know Nolan wasn't a fighter. And it's ironic that so many people ended up coming together in hopes to get justice and fighting together. You're gonna have to get that rock back in here, y'all. I said that and it was perfect timing. So you can go ahead and paint your wave any way you like and then come back in and just add your rock. Or even more rocks. And put some way down at the bottom. Hello, my lucky. And I didn't want to overload it with too many rocks just because the water's so churned up you would barely see any, like hardly any. Just a suggestion. You guys are so kind for joining me. I hope that you'll come back and donate when you have a few extra spare pennies to the National Center for Missing Exploited Children. It's always the charity of my choice simply because they do a beautiful job. Hi, Patricia Ellen. How do I donate to your fundraiser? There's a donate button that YouTube has, or you can click Super Chat or any of those buttons that normally donate to a channel. And it actually will show you that it's going to the National Center directly. And so there's several ways. There we got our rock built back in there. We're just adding little splashes of water. Remember those little trickles of water? Just there and here and wherever. This has been a lot of fun painting with you. I'd be so thrilled. I have a special thing that I light up on the screen when someone makes a donation. Let me go over here. Yeah, I've got it ready. So if somebody makes a donation, then I will show you guys the special button and what it does. It just celebrates the donation. We'll be wrapping this up pretty quick here. Smudger, oh, thank you. You said I'm so fascinated by your painting. It's so relaxing. Well, thank you. We'll go ahead and get her signed, and then I think we'll go back and do a few more rocks and what have you. Just make it a little stronger through there. Perception, right? All right, my lovelies. I believe that is the painting. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let it run the closer so that you can see it finished and on the easel. Oh, I guess I had a few more things to do. No, you don't need to be a member at all. You can just donate. Yeah, there you go. Somebody just donated $4 to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. So let me show you what the button does. A snow globe, you guys. You get the snow globe. Thank you for the anonymous donation of $4. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much. And no, you don't need to be a member. Anybody can donate at any time. You don't even need to be a subscriber. I really appreciate that donation, you guys. It makes it all worth it if we get to help out, right? To give back. Boy, I like that rock, the way it trimmed out. All right, you guys. This is my finished painting on my easel. We'll do a little close-up. Hey, Rachel Mary, you said that seawater is so alive and moving. It's such a pleasure to watch you paint and touching while you are painting this particular piece. Thank you. Thank you. We get up close so you can really see. And there's texture there, you guys. You know, so when you're seeing this in real person, there's movement on the board. It's textured from the painting. Let's see, what do I do here? Oh, these are just some of the other paintings I've done. I love water. That's one thing I do love. I love a lot of sky. This was one I did of the loneliest sailboat. This one's actually in my shop. And that is, I can't remember the name of that. That one I haven't decided if I'm going to sell yet. I like that one. But most of my others are available or have already been bought. So I want to make another one like this. This was a lot of really peacefulness. Here's a few of my older ones I did a few years ago. That's my stormy eye, right? I mean, that is a storm of a wave. Then we did some online too, like in just a few minutes. That creepy sea with the lighthouse. We all did that together. I remember when we did that one together, you guys. We did it in 2 parts. So that was in between. That was a lot of fun. And a couple of the waves that we've done just for fun. So we have managed to raise, if I did my math right, $24 today for the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, and every single penny helps. So think about how many missing posters will get printed because of that $24. I appreciate your time. I appreciate my live audience, my beautiful replay crew. Appreciate everybody. And I do feel that we do make a difference. And I love being able to give back. I love being able to share art. I know it didn't get a massive amount of views, but it's still out here, and it'll be out here for years to come. And who knows who's going to click that button in the future and donate to the National Center. So thank you for your support. Beautiful painting, says Patricia Ellen. I can't paint like that. I craft. I like lighthouses. Yeah, I've done a couple lighthouses. I just did a lighthouse. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. Yeah, you can't see it from here. Well, you can see one lighthouse right here, but there's one above it too. I'll have to show you a different time. Did you guys enjoy that? I enjoyed sharing that with you guys. I hope you will consider, if you have spare change, of giving to the National Center. Every penny helps. I love you guys. I love you very, very much. And rest in peace, Nolan Wells, Jay Slater, and Keily Rodni. Thank you all very much.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemy